Hi, good afternoon. I'm going to keep it very brief, hopefully. With my presentation today, I want to talk about my current research on Instagram as a marketing tool for affordable luxury jewelry brands, as the title of the presentation says, but also broader than that. We will discuss some pitfalls as well as the importance of authenticity and tangibility on the digital medium, and what kind of imagery resonates the best with a following that is on the one hand no longer just susceptible to any marketing efforts, but on the other hand is becoming overwhelmed with imagery and also creating it themselves. It's important to know that social media are replacing traditional forms of marketing and advertising. It's certainly the case for the fashion and luxury industries. Instagram especially, as we have talked about already, offers young designers the opportunity to build an entire following even before their first pieces hit the shelves. The platform offers new brands a relatively cheap way to interact with an enormous group of potential buyers, but even for established brands, it has a huge potential. Almost all consumers of luxury goods often own multiple smartphones where they're active on every day. But still, we see that many brands struggle when it comes to actually translating many goals of wanting to be active on Instagram and building a personalized website to actually into actions. And this is why the following three questions are central to the research that I've done until now. How does different content create more customer engagement and buying intention on Instagram? How can collaboration with influencers lead to more engagement and positive brand attitudes? And how important is authenticity and tangibility within this digital channel? These questions were actually originally created as part of a thesis study that I did for a Belgian jewelry brand called Wouter & Hendricks. The brand has a quirky approach to jewelry, is very much inspired by surrealism, and is in a way still very local to Belgium, but has been branching out towards the Netherlands and Asia, especially in the last years. And founded in 1984, Instagram was relatively new to this brand. And even though their first post dates from 2013, only since 2016 has the brand actually begun to incorporate it within a bigger marketing strategy. And to answer the questions we chose, we had a mixed method approach. On the one hand, we worked with a content analysis and we analyzed several Instagram posts of the brand itself. And on the other hand, also we did a survey. Yes, the word escaped me. And where we asked our entries, we asked them about their stance on the brands, but also broader if they perceived posts with influencers as authentic and how different posts would influence their buying habits. It's important to mention that Instagram as a marketing tool for luxury fashion brands has had difficult origins. Even though they're very active on social media now, many used to perceive it as not being timeless, something that they actually want to stand for: timelessness, exclusivity, and being traditional. Everything social media or not, yet this has changed over the past years, and now they are some of the strongest champions actually of online platforms. The following 5 functions of Instagram are often referred to in literature: entertainment, interaction, trendiness, customization, and word of mouth. And with the rise of Instagram, a brand can better control the image that consumers have of it, but also interact with the customers themselves. On the other hand, they are no longer just producers of content, and customers will leave their own take on brands on the platform as well. So there has been already extensive research on this topic. I will skip this and go over straight to some of the results. The first conclusion we drew from the content analysis was that bigger wasn't necessarily better when it comes to Instagram. For the brands that we analyzed, as I said, it's just a fruit jewelry brand, so you cannot take it as big for every fashion brand. But we saw an overall trend within these brands that more followers doesn't necessarily mean loyal following, and that actually the smaller brands often have a very strong relationship with their followers on the platform, and which results in a very positive brand attitude of those customers. Secondly, we saw that colors of a post, while in other studies they say that they do play an important part, didn't necessarily influence engagement. However, other elements of posts clearly did do that, like we studied jewelry, so we saw that rings gained a lot more likes and engagement for all of the brands that we studied. Furthermore, our hypothesis that different elements of Instagram influence brand attitude was confirmed, and we confronted non-followers of the brand Wouter and Hendricks with a series of posts which they perceived as beautiful and artistic. However, I think it's important to note that a positive brand attitude doesn't necessarily mean buying intention. With the rise of Web 2.0, consumers are way more aware of the types of advertisements he or she is confronted with every day. We like to refer here to the persuasion knowledge model. This model states that consumers always have a certain knowledge, topic knowledge, agent knowledge, and persuasion knowledge when they are confronted with ads. So they know certain things about marketing, about advertising, and when they recognize they are being influenced, this can negatively impact not only their brand attitude, but especially their buying intention. Furthermore, we've also seen the impact of other older theories, namely about self-image. People with an incomplete self-image are more likely to supplement their identity with symbols associated with it. And Instagram is a medium that very much plays into this. Because people start liking things that they feel will add to their identity. Someone's presence on Instagram and liking photos, on the other hand, might diminish the need to purchase. With the rise of social media, influencers, and the entire digital universe, we also see that sometimes people, especially those who do not have the funds, feel like they want to be part of the universe of a brand, sharing that story, and feel like buying is no longer necessary. Then finally, I will end on this. We also questioned in the survey, we also talked about influencers and how it impacts them, and if faces engage, because other studies have mentioned that, and the results were not as conclusive. We noticed that faces didn't necessarily engage, and that when it comes to influencers, it was very important that the followers felt like they were authentic, like they were part of the brand. They had to recognize this as an authentic figure. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at this almost. I think it's very important to note that I'm still in a very explorative phase of my research, and I want to explore further the impact, especially of influencers and authenticity in the medium of Instagram. Thank you.